In my 22 years here, I have not been a part of or witnessed a scene quite this complex.
Now six people are dead, including the suspect in an apparent murder-suicide that started in Forest Grove and ended all the way in Enumclaw, Washington. We break down this complex case ahead in a live report. Plus,
you could have protected the woman that you promised to love.
A man has been sentenced to life in prison and then some for hiring his friend to kill his wife. What he had to say to the court before his sentencing.
And a robot just beat Usain Bolt's record. How fast the robot named Lightning ran the 100-meter dash and why it's not ready to surpass humans just yet.
And the Portland Fire have a brand new mascot. We meet Rose, the glitter-breathing dragon, coming up as your News at Sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Monday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Hope you had a great weekend. Chris McGinnis is back with a look at our traffic, but we're going to start with Mr. Rod Hill. How are things looking out there this morning?
Hey, good morning. 70s over the weekend, 77 at PDX Saturday, 79 yesterday, and just like that today, we pop it back up to 93. This is a Seaside Live. This is blue sky up top, a little bit of low cloud or fogginess, kind of hunkered down right over the Pacific waters this morning, 54. But you drop down to Lincoln City, and it's more of just a clear sky. We are expecting sunshine today at the beach with 70-degree temperatures. That's Lincoln City from the Chinook Woods Casino Resort camera. Pretty Vancouver camera from the Springs at the waterfront location this morning. 58 is the number. And here comes your hot Monday. 77 at noon. Take advantage of the AM hours. The high temperature this afternoon, we think at least 90 and could be 93. Here's Chris.
Rod, thank you for that. We're picking this up with some breaking news right now coming in out of Wahkiakum County. We're getting word of a structure fire right now in the town of Cathlamet that has a section of SR 409 closed right now near Columbia Street. We heard from dispatch this is an active ongoing situation. Fire happening somewhere between 3 o'clock and maybe 3:30 this morning, and it is still active. So SR 409 right now closed again near Columbia Street. We're working to get more details on this, and we'll bring those to you here on KGW News just as soon as we have them. Meanwhile, out in Washington County, a section of Cornelius Pass Road impacted with a crash here at Germantown. A reminder, by the way, that Cornelius Pass Road remains closed just north of that area near the Rock Creek Bridge replacement area. And last but not least, over in Clackamas County, we've got a malfunctioning traffic signal right now on 99 East. So traffic alternating, taking turns here, getting through that intersection with Territorial Road. The freeway drive right now, it's getting a little bit busier, but so far no major freeway trouble out there just yet. Shana and Matthew, we're off to a pretty good start.
Thank you, Chris. Well, 6 people are dead, including the suspect, as the investigation continues into a murder-suicide in Washington County this morning. The sheriff's office says 5 people were found dead at a property just outside Forest Grove over the weekend.
The man suspected of killing them was later found dead near Seattle from an apparent suicide. Sunrise reporter Mo Hyder is joining us live from Washington County this morning with the latest on this disturbing case. Mo.
Yeah, Matthew, there's certainly still a lot to piece together. But investigators do say this all started when crews found a vehicle engulfed in flames. Now, here's more from the Washington County Sheriff's Office on where exactly this was. We're being told the incident happened at a property on Otis Lane just outside Forest Grove. That's where investigators say they found 5 people and multiple animals dead. Detectives have not released the names of the victims, but they say they don't believe this was a random act. Yesterday, the search began for the suspect, 36-year-old Benjamin Charles Parker. Parker, being told, was later found dead inside his vehicle behind a Safeway store in Enumclaw, which is about 50 miles southeast of Seattle. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says Parker appears to have died by suicide.
I will say that in my 22 years here, I have not been a part of or witnessed a scene quite this complex involving this type of an investigation.
Also, the incident even catching the attention of Governor Tina Kotek. In a statement on social media, the governor said in part, "Whatever the circumstances, let's keep the family and friends of the victims in our hearts and prayers." Of course, there's still a lot of questions that remain unanswered this morning. Investigators haven't said how they're able to connect Parker to the crime scene as well as what the motive possibly was. The Washington County Sheriff's Office is also asking the public for help if they have any information that can assist them on this case. China, Matthew.
Mo Hyder reporting live for us this morning. Thank you, Mo. And we do want to remind you that if you or someone you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts, help is available 24/7. All you have to do is dial the number there on your screen, 988.
A Cirque du Soleil acrobat is suing the traveling circus company for $16.75 million after falling and breaking 11 bones during a show here in Portland. We do want to warn you that one of the images in this story may be graphic to some viewers. Now, back in August of 2024, Marina Konectova was 15 feet above the stage when she fell with no net and no mat below her. Months after the incident, OSHA found a lack of proper safety systems and fined Cirque du Soleil $8,000. According to the lawsuit, Cirque du Soleil told OSHA that 20 feet was the height limit at which they start requiring fall safety protections. Photos provided by her attorney show Konectova in the hospital with fractures to her skull, wrist, lower back, and facial bones. In her lawsuit, she alleges the company was negligent for not providing fall protection. We reached out to Cirque du Soleil, which says they're aware of the reports but does not comment on legal matters.
A Clark County man will spend the rest of his life in prison after hiring someone to kill his wife, Lindy Rummel. Loved ones of Lindy addressed James Rummel in court Friday.
You could have walked away. You could have filed bankruptcy. Anything besides hiring your old prison buddy to murder your wife.
Rummel was also sentenced without the possibility of release, plus an additional 20 years for hiring his friend Daryl Riley to kill Lindy. Rummel briefly spoke to the court before hearing his sentence.
I've been found guilty through circumstances and lies. Am I upset? You bet I am. Do I care? Absolutely. I care for your feelings, although you hate me.
Back in 2024, investigators learned about the murder-for-hire plot days after Lindy's death when a friend of Riley's contacted law enforcement saying that he admitted to the plot. He later reached a plea agreement and testified against James. Riley also said that he was under the influence of meth at the time of the murder. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Residents in Lake Oswego no longer have to boil their water before using it. A boil water advisory was issued for about 900 customers in the Mountain Park neighborhood over the weekend after a water main broke on Del Prado. That advisory has been lifted and the water is safe to use again. The city just recommends running all faucets for 2 minutes to clear out any water that was in the pipes during the advisory.
Sunday was the final day for a beloved yet embattled Hillsboro business. We stopped to buy Jim's Ice Cream before it closed its doors permanently. The business owner says the property owner declined to renew their lease and sold it to someone else. This comes less than a year after the ice cream shop reopened, following an extensive closure when a car crashed into the building on Thanksgiving nearly 2 years ago. Sunday was a chance to serve some final scoops and share some memories. At this point, they say there is no plan to reopen at another location.
In Washington County, the hits just keep coming for the city of North Plains. Over the weekend, we learned the city council president has resigned after less than 2 years on the job. Andy Hagdorn was in office longer than the last city manager. He was there for just 1 week. This comes after the North Plains mayor, his predecessor, and 3 other city councilors jumped ship. Council is taking applications for another couple of weeks, and they'll start the process of replacing the council president on September 8th.
It took a little extra horsepower for a rescue that Clackamas Fire had to respond to. This was in Beaver Creek, southeast of Oregon City, where crews were called to help a horse stuck in a creek. With the help of neighbors and the horse's owner, they got a sling under the horse, then used an excavator to pull it to safety. The horse was able to stand on its own, but was also checked out by a vet.
And Portland firefighters were called to help a raccoon that got its arm caught between a home and a fence. Crews pried open the space to free it and reminded people to secure their trash cans.
And officers with New York's Department of Environmental Conservation Department had their hands full when they confiscated this gigantic Burmese python. The snake was confiscated after its owner was showing it to people on a boardwalk in Coney Island because they're dangerous and can impact native wildlife. In New York, it's illegal to own a Burmese python. The owner was given a ticket and the snake was taken to the SPCA.
So I'm not going to be going there ever.
Where do you get a Burmese python that big?
It's big.
Amazon.
Amazon.
It's where you get everything else.
Yeah, that's a good point, Shannon. All right, here's a look at our Salem Sky Camera live down in Marion County. Going to be a beautiful sunny day, but it will become hot this afternoon. So with 90s in the forecast, I always remind you to take advantage of the more pleasant morning hours for any heavy lifting you have to do outdoors today. 59 is the number down in Salem. Here are the clear skies over the West Hills looking up from the Providence Park camera, 60 degrees. Other numbers, we generally have light winds this morning. The wind direction today is north-northeast, which will bring some wildfire smoke back into our skies this afternoon. Aurora 57, Albany and Corvallis each at 60. Temperature march for Portland has us in the upper 70s at noon, and then in the 80s by 1 o'clock. And I am forecasting 93 this afternoon. And the weather modeling shows that exact same number for us. Low 90s down through Eugene. Could be a spot or two along the coast. Approach 80 today with clear skies. This shows 75 Tillamook, 74 Astoria. Our seaside camera has some early morning fog, but generally it will be a sunny day there. And temperatures near 90 across a good chunk of eastern areas. Notice the thunderstorm icon in the southeast, that possibility this afternoon. All right, Portland 7-day, 93 today, maybe just up to 90 tomorrow. So a couple hot days to start and then a big drop, 82 Wednesday. And then starting Thursday, a lengthy run potentially of highs holding in the 70s. There's a system coming in Saturday. We will either just get a bit of rain or the rain will hold to our north. Right now I've got Saturday's high at 75, and that is your forecast.